Hey, I'm Scott. Welcome back to my very humble garage gym. And today I want to talk about a somewhat controversial topic in regard to health and fitness, and that is, can you build muscle while burning fat at the same time, especially if you're over 50? So the answer is yes. And while I'm not super jacked myself, I have built some muscle and lost a good bit of fat over the last few years. So still a work in progress, but I've made a lot of progress. And so I'm going to give you basically the formula for building muscle and burning fat after the age of 50. First and foremost, I'll just get right to it. It's diet. If you don't pay attention to what goes into your mouth, how much you're consuming, you are never going to make the progress you want. I should be the poster child for that. As they say, you can't outrun a bad diet. I tried to do that for years, and all I kept doing was getting fatter and fatter and fatter. So at some point, you have got to make the decision that you've got to eliminate some of the things from your diet that are holding you back. For me, I have a big sweet tooth, and I was a bit of a junk food junkie. So mainly with crunchy stuff. I like eating, chips and Chex Mix and that kind of thing. But with the sweets are probably what were holding me back the most. So you need to figure out what's really holding you back in your diet. So you're really going to have to probably change your relationship with food. I like to say you need to learn how to eat to live rather than live to eat, and don't seek pleasure in food. We do that a lot in our society. I look at all the pictures friends and family post of their meals, and I'm guilty of that as well. I try to post more of my more healthy types of meals, but if I'm over in Italy or whatever and I have a beautiful pizza in front of my sitting in front of me, then I'm probably going to take a picture and put that up too. Yes, I still eat pizza. I still eat wings and that kind of thing, but everything in moderation. So you're really going to have to figure out how many calories you should be eating based on your current weight, your current height and weight, your age, your initial goal weight. So how much weight do you want to lose over, say, the next 3 months or whatever. Go to calculator.net and look for the basal metabolic rate calculator, BMR. And you need to figure that out for your height, weight, and your age, the base level of calories that you need to consume just to basically function. So it won't include really doing anything except waking up, sitting, breathing, eating, and that basic level of activity. Once you figure out that number, then you want to multiply that number probably by about, sorry about the train going by now. So I'm fairly close to a train station and train tracks. But you want to multiply that BMR figure for yourself times 1 3/8, so 1.375. That will give you an idea of how many calories you should be eating to maintain your weight while doing a very moderate amount of exercise. And then you want to consume a number of calories that's about 5% less than that. So if you get into an exercise program that I'm about to describe, then your activity level is going to be significantly increased, and that level of calories will help you lose about 1 to 2 pounds per week, especially if you eliminate some of the bad things in your diet. I didn't mention alcohol You're going to probably, if you have a relationship with alcohol and you drink regularly every week, you're probably going to need to think about that as well. So that's all I'm going to say. So that's the first step. You also got to, you're going to need to eat more protein because you're going to be lifting weights. So to build muscle, you need protein. And if you're over 50, you're going to need to eat a little bit more protein than what you would normally need to eat, when you were younger. Our body just doesn't synthesize the protein as well once we get over 50, 60, 70. As we age, that ability declines more and more. So you almost at some point have to make it a job to eat more protein. So I supplement with some whey protein, and because I do not eat enough protein just from my diet. I eat a good amount of chicken, but I would have to increase the amount of chicken and beef and the other source of protein that I consume quite a bit just to get all of my protein from those sources. So I supplement with a whey protein powder that I mix in with Fairlife milk, and that gets me about 40 to 50 grams of protein in one serving for that amount. And that gets me a lot closer to the amount of protein that I need to consume. So I'm at about 185 to 187 pounds regularly now. So I shoot for at least 150 grams of protein per day in order to improve my muscle mass. That's a bit less than what conventional wisdom tells you, which is a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So I think you can get away with a little bit less than that. Your body is not going to synthesize it all right away anyway. So if you get to that 150 grams of protein level, or basically for you, 3/4 of a gram of protein per pound of body weight, I think you'll be fine. If you can get up to a gram of protein per pound of body weight, then that's even better. So that's the diet aspect. I mentioned lifting weights. You got to lift weights. As we get older, we start getting the effects of sarcopenia. That's age-related loss of muscle mass. We need to lift weights in order to retain our mobility as we get older. That's the most important reason why you want to lift weights if you're over 50, and you want to continue to do that for the rest of your life. I look at people around me, basically both sets of my parents. None of them have done any strength training. They're all very advanced age, upper 70s to 95. My stepfather will be 95 next week. So they're all very frail. They have mobility issues. My dad has a balance issue now, and he recently snapped an ankle too. And that's another issue, the bone density. You need to lift weights in order to keep your bones from getting brittle as you get older as well. So for some people it's worse than others. But if you've been diagnosed with osteopenia already, then you want to lift weights in order to improve your bone density. Last but not least, if you want to lose that fat, you're going to need to do some cardio. Now, the issue is that we don't want to do too much of the wrong kind of cardio exercise, because that can interfere with our strength and muscle goals. So if you do too much cardio exercise, it has the same effect as aging. So if you are lifting weights one day, then the last thing you want to do the next day on your off day is to go run 5 or 6 miles. That has the same effect as you get older of burning muscles. So especially if you're running at at a pace that gets you into what they call zone 3. So your heart rate is in zone 3, so it's a fairly intense level and above, and you do it for too long, then your body's going to need another source of energy to allow you to keep on moving at that pace. So first you start with the fat, you're burning fat, then you're burning carbs, but once that intense, after about 35 minutes, you're going to start needing another source of fuel, and that becomes your muscle mass if you're not consuming anything while you're, any kind of energy while you're doing that exercise. So I like to incorporate zone 2 cardio into my routine once or twice a week. I'll ride my stationary bike at a very comfortable level for about 60 minutes. It's boring as hell. I have the headphones on, usually listen to Pink Floyd while I'm doing it, and I go at a steady pace. I'm not breathing too hard. My heart rate is at about 60 to 65% of my maximum heart rate, and I can go at that level for quite a while. I work up a good sweat, and what that does is it also, if I had a heavy leg workout the previous day, that gets some blood into the legs to wash out some of that lactic acid and help me recover as well. The zone 2, I find, has been providing me with a little bit more energy during my strength training workouts as well. So I'll do some zone 2 cardio, and then I'll do higher intensity cardio, something like in the plyometrics workout from P90X years ago, Insanity workouts. I'll do some of those, about 30 minutes, or I'll get on the bike and do a more intense workout on the bike to work up a sweat. So that's how you can build muscle and burn fat at the same time. The key is diet first. You got to pay attention to how much is going into your body. The cardio, you don't want to be doing too much of the wrong thing, and you've got to lift weights, of course. So check out ScottAllenCole.com, my website. I've got more good content over there. I've got a little bit more detail about this topic over there as well, and I'll put the link to that post below this video as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the road.